All right, we are recording in progress. Life is in progress. This is Judy Matejczak here. Uh, Life mastery consultant and award winning. Let's see, paradigm shifter. Oh, paradigm shift. Oh, so like if I'm in a limiting belief, paradigm shifting it. So we are here and dedicated as a glowing, growing community globally to shift and uplift the planet one day at a time, one person at a time, one season at a time. And so let's take a deep breath into wow, December 17th, 2024. That might scare some people like, oh, like I've got 7 more days, or what is it going to look like, or what's the world coming to? And we're here to talk in this 2024 December with the book In Tune with the Infinite, where we're getting in touch with that spirit inside. There's a part of us that wants to feel that way. Another part is yearning for this peace. And you're going to love our guest speaker. She's an expert here. Peace expert, right? Um, so, anyway, I want to start off today with the word peace. And so let's take a deep breath in and close your eyes and imagine this peace and put that in your whole body. Yeah, peace, each part of your body. With the affirmation, I give the gift of peace. Well, if I'm giving the gift of peace, I must have to learn how to be peaceful myself. So I begin by affirming peace for myself and all beings and letting the peace of this spirit within flow through me. Peaceful living does not mean isolation from noise or turmoil. It means calm even in the middle of the turmoil, whatever it is. At this time of year when so many seem rushed, busy, fanatic, unknowing, I rely on the peace that resides within to promote calm in my home, calm in my life, and in the world. Prayer helps me stay centered, serene, and relaxed so I can be an instrument of peace, holding thoughts of tranquility and affirming peace in every heart, every person's heart. I move through this day, affirming kindness and compassion. I give the gift of peace as I let it flow from my heart like ripples on a lake, sustaining each person in concentric circles of tranquility and goodwill. So I am so thrilled and excited to introduce you to I was going to say old friend, my friend of many years, Jane Bick. We met so many years ago and have been in each other's lives off and on. And I want to introduce you to her because her life has been dedicated to teaching people how to the hows and tools. So come on in here, Jane. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Coming in from Tucson, Arizona. Come on in.
Hi, Judy. Well, it's a pleasure to be with you all. Um, I can't say that peace doesn't resonate with me because it is really so huge. It's just such a powerful topic. It's just the most appropriate thing for this time of year, and I'm privileged to be here and to talk about my little piece of that can contribute to this whole concept of inner peace and having peace that you can radiate to others. And I think that starts with self-awareness, really. And luckily, my life, a lot of it has been devoted to learning skills and methods for increasing self-awareness and also improving one's control or one's ability to maximize how we use our body and our minds together. So it's a integral whole. Our body, mind, and spirit cannot be separated. It's one integral whole. And that when one part of it is out of sync, then all of us is out of sync. And so I entered my work, which involves the body and mind, through my own being out of sync with my body, being in pain, having a lack of awareness of what was causing my physical pain. And I was a performer, I was an actor. And that took a lot of self-awareness to be on stage, use my voice and body. But there was something that wasn't quite right, and I didn't know how to get it right until I found something called the Alexander Technique, which is you can find things on the internet, you can read a lot of books about it, but it's an experiential method to become aware of what habits we have in our body and how we move and sit and stand and how we react to stimuli, things that have come into our world, how we react to it habitually, those things, and how we can be doing ourselves harm without even knowing it. So I was doing myself harm at a young age, didn't realize it. And I had a whole new toolbox that I gained to begin to look at myself in a new way. So I could see, well, what are the tensions that I'm bringing and putting on myself that are causing harm to my physical body, but also harm to my sense of freedom in the world, freedom to be me, so that I wasn't just reacting and in habitual ways to people and things and emotional situations. And I wanted to feel like I was free to choose how I reacted and free to choose the more positive way of being in the world rather than just feeling like I was sort of kind of a subject to those things that were happening to me. So it's been a long journey of several decades, at least 4 decades of my growth in this work, in the Alexander Technique and other methods as well. And I'm very grateful for what I've learned. And I think, that Alexander himself, FM Alexander, developed the technique, had a speech and a breathing problem.
Oh, really?
And so the whole origins of his work really went back to that voice and breathing problem. And when we focus on our breathing, we're really tapping in to how our body works, how it functions on the most reflexive level. We can't make ourselves breathe. We can't make ourselves stop breathing, even if we hold our breath. So we might just take a moment just to kind of tune into our breathing. And you can just close your eyes and just notice how your breath comes and goes. It's a natural flow, kind of like the ocean. We have an ocean in the picture behind Judy. The nice ebb and flow of the ocean, the tide coming towards the shore and the tide ebbing away from the shore. And just notice how you start to let go when you think of that as being a natural flow of the breath. We don't have to make it happen. We don't have to control it. The in-breath and the out-breath, and like the tides and like the movement of the ocean, there's a natural force. And with us, when we exhale, that creates a vacuum in our lungs. And then the breath just comes back like that tide towards the shore, or those waves towards the shore. And then when we exhale, that the wave is just drawing away from the shore. And then it just washes back as our breath washes back into our lungs. And we feel that filling all the way down to the bottom of our torso into our deep pelvic area. And so just do 2, or let's say 3 slow breaths that way, just noticing that natural ebb and flow of your breath. And you might even find that you feel a warmth coming into your body. And just open your eyes now and look around the room and see if you don't notice something's happening to your perceptions, to your awareness of your space around you. And what I see is something caught my eye that's always hanging in front of my computer screen that I don't pay attention to. And there my eyes went right to it, and I kind of disregard it a lot of the time. So I'm more awake to my surroundings. I'm seeing more. I feel more enlivened. How about you, Judy?
Oh, uh, that is really a key right there. If anyone's taking a has such a key, not to do the breath. Look at that. It's
Starts
right.
to clear out.
Clearing,
Yeah,
yeah. Do the breath and then look and what is catching your eye. What are you noticing? Right there. I didn't grasp that before when we were talking. And I was looking around at these pictures in my space here of pic- peaceful moments in time where I took those pictures. I remember when and what I was doing in those moments, and that just really put a big smile. Oh, that's real. Taking like those, it's like a snapshot moment, right? When you're opening up your eyes after your
right.
body is there. Is that right?
Yeah, we're more awake to our surroundings because we've taken time to focus on ourselves and to let the natural thing happen, the natural flow of our breath happen without imposing anything. And that there's that inner outer connection. So when we are body, mind, and spirit, when we take time to let our body do the natural thing, when we take time to just focus and on our breath to calm the nervous system, then our outer awareness is more awake. That many times we're just reacting without being really attentive to ourselves or our surroundings. So the breath is key. Our breathing is key. And it's a lovely, simple way to calm our nervous system. We have two parts of our nervous system, the fight, flight, fright, freeze, which is the sympathetic nervous system where we're just reacting. And that's a good part. I mean, we're trying to meet a deadline at work. We're running a race. We're, trying to get 50 things done. We're in that get it done kind of mode, or get it done on a high level. But we can't live there because that uses too much energy and it tends to wear us out. We need the other part of our nervous system, the rest and restore part, the sympathetic, to come online. So we can restore, we can refresh, so to speak, like a computer that brings everything into this calming, restorative place. So our breath is a wonderful way to just take that time to focus inward and see what happens when our breath just goes through that natural ebb and flow like the ocean, that we're filling the breath, our lungs, and they become wider, and the whole expanse of our torso be, gets broader and deeper, and it actually gets longer, or we drop into our whole deep pelvis so that we get the breath, the muscles are relaxing so that the whole lungs can fill. The lungs are only, at a small section of our torso, but the muscles are relaxing so the diaphragm can drop and move in the process of breathing. That deep diaphragmatic breathing is reflexive. We can't make our diaphragm do something that it's not going to do, but we can allow the muscles to let go and we breathe. So let's add a sound to this process. It's another kind of a cleansing, a refocusing. And the sound I'm going to suggest, almost like like the sound, well, like an ocean sound. I think of how calming the ocean is when you hear that. So the sound of sh, the sound of, like when you want to be quiet, tell a baby, someone's a sleeping baby and you want everyone to be quiet. Shh, the baby's sleeping. So we're going to say shh, and we're going to let that sound go all the way to where we feel like we've kind of run out of breath. And we're going to close our lips, and that's that renewal of the breath filling itself without taking a breath. So let's do one of those. So we're just going to exhale on the SH till we find that we have no more breath. We're going to close our lips. We're going to feel that breath just coming back. And then we're going to exhale again on the SH. So exhaling on the SH, or the shh sound. Shh. And then your lips close. The breath fills itself. Then we start again. Shh. And go ahead and encourage yourself to make that audible sound so you can really hear that shh And then when the breath renews, we don't have to ever add tension to take a breath. We don't lift our chest. We don't tighten our neck. We don't pull our body out of shape to make it. Our breath is just coming in by the expanse. Let's go to one more time and think of shell, shell, that sound, the beginning of that word. So we're going to say shh. So you breath is released completely and then it comes back. Now that is a calming breath. It's a soothing breath. And see if you feel, if you look around again, see if you feel that connection or you observe that connection between being aware of yourself and the calm within you and being aware of your surroundings. It's a continuum. We don't have to block out what's around us to be aware of ourselves. And we don't have to lose ourselves when we look around in our surroundings.
It's like a little mini meditation you could do.
Absolutely, yeah. And many times during the day, we're holding our breath. We're not stopping breathing, but we're adding tension that constricts the width and the depth and the whole length of actually what happens in our whole breathing mechanism as our breath is happening naturally. So, during the hospital holidays, hopefully no one goes to the hospital, but we might feel like we're racing to the hospital. But just notice as you're going through your daily life how you're breathing and just encourage yourself to just be aware that you can walk. You could walk fast. You could do whatever you need to do while you're observing your breathing, that it's just happening. And if you find you're tightening your body and constricting your breath, just go back to that idea that you're just like the ocean, that breath is happening. You're being breathed by your own body. Your body breathes you. You don't have to breathe it. Now, I love the imagery behind you because it's so perfect. The ocean, ebbing and flowing. So, Alexander, a technique is a way of becoming aware of how our body naturally takes care of ourselves. We don't have to force or foist things on us.
Right.
And that when we start to let go and just observe, things come online that we have been restricting and limiting and putting barriers. Our breathing, our moving, our sitting, our standing are all natural. You watch young children, how beautifully they move. And over time, we get to we're stiff, we're holding ourselves, we're scrunching in. We don't feel comfortable, we feel self-conscious. And then once we start to let our body just do what it does naturally, we don't feel those same feelings.
Now, you
So,
just did something that I'm curious about. When when I catch myself in my body language,
yes.
like this, with my arms crossed, or like this, and or like this with my shoulders up, perhaps, one of the tools I teach is notice what you're noticing.
Right.
Only I haven't really ever taught it notice what I'm noticing with my body language or my breath. So this is a much deeper than I've ever taught before, and I think that's where you're going with this, right? Noticing your body and what it's doing, and then using this tool. So tell me more. Am I on the right track with that?
Absolutely. And these habits creep up from the time we're little children. We emulate our parents and teachers and friends and television personalities, whatever. And or we just feel uncomfortable, something happens, and those become sort of traits, mannerisms, and we don't even know we're doing them. And then people may say, stand up straight or stop, you know, closing yourself off or
Bite
whatever.
your
But
fingernails, or
but without judgment, we can say, oh, this is a choice. This is something I can do but maybe if I just do it a little less and with not so much, then I'm not judging. I'm not forcing myself. And then after a while, I might find, oh, I don't even need to do that. Maybe it went back to the fact that someone was a tall person and they felt self-conscious. They were the tallest kid in their class. Or maybe everyone else was growing faster and they just felt small. Um, so those things go way back sometimes to our childhood or experiences we've had. And if we're just gentle with ourselves, talking about peace, that we can be peaceful in how we change the habits that we have. We don't have to force ourselves or judge ourselves. And making this room, this space for our natural breathing, it affects everything. It affects our circulation. It affects our nervous system, bringing it into calm and not using as much energy. Because every time we tighten our body, it takes energy. Like make a fist right now and hold it there. Does that take energy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
And then you start
takes,
to let
when I'm
go.
angry, it takes more energy to be angry than peaceful.
Absolutely. And then just move your hand around. Now that doesn't feel like it takes much of energy at all. But go ahead and make that fist again. And sometimes I find we're clenching our body in ways we don't even realize, and it's using a lot of energy that could be just go into being easy. Yeah, to make things easier, make things freer is just a process of being aware and letting go of the habits that we have slowly. We don't have to make radical change. It can be just doing a little bit less. So maybe once a day, I'll notice that this is what I tend to do. I'm pulling down. And then I realize, oh, well, my mother used to do that too. A friend shared that once, and that her mother would say, don't do that thing. And she'd look at her mother, and her mother was doing it.
Of
So
course.
when we start to just make these slight, subtle changes, it's a very peaceful process rather than a judgmental or forced process. Many things, it's that we try to force ourselves into new habits when making gentle habits that involve self-awareness are much more compassionate to ourselves.
Kindness and compassion. So as wow, this is such so timely right now. And as we, what I would love to have, um, let's create a vision for a peaceful Christmas, or a, not necessarily Christmas, but whatever it is that we're in the midst of doing, end of the year, beginning new year. What if we did ourselves in peace?
There's a loud sound of something. Okay.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Huh.
Okay. It's
Okay.
past.
Okay, good. What if what if we created a vision for the rest of 2024, heading whatever 2025 brings? What if, you know, we made a commitment to ourselves to practice this tool, breathing, that you just learned. And you can always rewind this or get a hold of Jane at janecbick.com. Bick. And I'll put that, I'm going to put all your information in the little title thing that I do. But what if we consciously connected with our breath, and we notice, not only looking around where you are right now, but looking around what your peaceful essence has manifested possibly in others. Now we know that we can't control others, but we can control our breath in ourselves. And what if this is what the world, your family, your home needs or just would love right now? How's that sound? You up for it?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we want to thank you so much, Jane, and we want to put a blessing on you. Let me go like this. Oh, there it is. Let's put a blessing on you and your work in the world, because you've been doing this for what, 4 decades?
Mhm.
Don't you love it when somebody says, "Well, you don't even look that old."
Well, it's an ongoing process, but luckily, this is the thing that can turn the clock back. When we feel less stress, less
Longevity.
anxiety, that we do feel more buoyant, we do feel more light, and free. And that's what makes us look like we're aging, is what we carry, the tensions that we carry. And without those tensions, we look and appear and feel younger. Yeah.
Yeah, what if? And what if longevity was predictable when we use the tools? And longevity, and why would we even want to have longevity? And for me, it's my grandkids, you know, the people I see, the imprint, the impact, because you're having impact right now, not just in Tucson or not just all these decades you've been doing this, but on your generations and your grandchildren, your grandson. I'm so sweet, and your daughter. Because boy, I mean, what if, what if, what if all the mamas out there practice breathing?
Yeah. And we're all doing too much. We're all under too much stress. Parents are way too stressed doing all the things they do. This is all new research. And the thing that has the greatest effect on our health is how we manage stress, both positive and negative. This is just a tool that we know that our body can help us take care of ourselves if we just learn to tune in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, what would you love to have us hold for you, Jane?
Well, I think, like that beautiful ocean behind you, this is just like throwing a pebble in the ocean and watching the ripples. It's knowing that we can have a greater effect globally and within our families and our communities and in the world at large, how we respond to messages or go on social media or whatever. If we're just focused on ourselves, what comes out that's maybe less, that's more positive, more self-affirming, more warm, more supportive. Because when we connect to that inner essence, like you said in the beginning, our that we can really find our what comes out of us very authentically. And I think that breathing is one way to find that, tuning in and noticing what we do with our bodies. So we're letting ourselves be more living in this space of who we are, that we celebrate this deep, wonderful person that we are.
Oh, amen. Let's put some energy out into the world.
So
Okay.
we're all spreading out our,
Amen.
these simple practices that they become have a larger effect. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much. This has really been just fantastic. And thank you for I give the gift of peace. Thank you
Have-
for giving the gift of peace to all of us. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Amen.